welcome back to another week rotations video. We're now week number, I believe, number 74 in this stage where I'll show you everything I've worn off of the weekends, everything from my collection. So some things maybe designer, some things maybe niche or indie, but most of them are me cheapies because that is what I enjoy collecting and what this whole channel is about. And I'm actually recording this on the Sunday before I upload this. So we're going to actually go from Sunday to Sunday, Sunday from last week to Sunday today, starting off on that first Sunday, the one from last week. And it's one that I absolutely love, my favorite designers in my collection, probably my favorite kind of profiles overall, just in general. I really love this one. I know it's not going to be an easy get and is a higher price, especially coming from the house, but to me it's very well worth it. And I know there's a lot of other clones out there and those are really great as well, but man, this one here just holds a special place in my heart and literally would be a signature fragrance if I didn't have anything else here. It's from Dior and it is Dior Homme Sport 2021 edition, which a lot of people actually consider the best one so far, even though there's a lot of other versions. The past ones they've did, something like more out headache, some things are a little more soapy or whatever. This one to me, absolutely love it. I haven't smelled the other ones, but from what I hear, I actually prefer this one just by the sound and the way they describe those. But this one, very, very, very woody, just like the other Dior Homme, the Dior Homme 2020 edition. But this is still very woody, very spicy, a lot of that, a little bit of a resinous feel. Actually, I forgot what kind of resin note that's in here that gives it almost a warmth in the base and a lot of aldehydes, which actually I don't think is listed. It may be listed, but it's very soapy, like very, very soapy woods. Like very musky as well. It's absolutely incredible. It has a good bit of class to it, a little maturity, but it's not like too mature that younger guys can't enjoy this. It's very clean, very well dressed up, very easy to wear, and it's actually really good performance as far as being like a freshie. You expect like a lot of aldehydic, fresh, bright fragrances to be, very fleeting for the moment, but this actually has a good bit of base to it. Again, those woods, those resins, that musk, and it lasts pretty long time, like very, very well, like above average, even unless you're like on a super hot day, but then again, anything would wear off and all at work. But yeah, love this stuff, fantastic. And like I said, not gonna be the cheapest thing to get a hold of. There are a few little clones or things that are like renditions out there, but still absolutely love this one. Highly recommend trying out this profile in general. And it's not just sport for like gym wear. You can wear this literally every day, anytime in the warmer or even cooler weather, all year round, any occasion. It's perfect for any of those. And the next day on that Monday, I actually wore some that I opened up in a recent rack store haul video, which was supposed to be released this past Friday, but there's a lot of emergencies. Had to take our baby to the ER last week, which threw off a lot of editing schedules, which I know, priorities, obviously I can't do everything. So I'm pushing that off to this coming week. So I'm not gonna show what I opened up and what I wore. I just want to get an experience with it. And I was planning on talking about it now, but I will talk about it at a later date. And you'll be seeing which ones I opened up this coming Friday. But the next day on Tuesday, wore one's a classic from this house. It's a very good clone. A lot of people say this is actually even better than the original because it's such a cheaper price and you get still great quality with it. Even George from the Fragrance Apprentice actually did a whole video series, a whole thing about this, but it's from the company of Armand, and this is Club Nuit Sillage, a clone of Creed's Silver Mountain Water. I actually somewhat don't like the Silver Mountain Water profile overall, but I'm slowly warming up to it. I know there's a lot of different twists and takes on it. For the longest, I think Banana Republic Metal Rain was my favorite rendition of it. It didn't have that weird metallic kind of tea, medicinal, kind of piercing thing to it, which this does have, but it also makes it more closer to the original. But recently, I've actually really enjoyed it and actually was able to tell more of the tea note that is in here. Very, very tea forward, aromatic, slightly sweet, a lot of the ozonic freshness, that muskiness. It does have a little bit of piercing metallic kind of chrome nature in there. A good hit of black currant on the top, which is a great note. It's very juicy but tart. Again, with that sweetness in there, that fruity punch in there. It's not the exact same as something like, Off Known Supremacy, not only intense. That black currant note is way more dominant, but the one that shows up in this for the little bit in the opening is really good. And as it dries down, you get some soft woods, more aromatics, and that muskiness, a little bit of a watery feel in there as well. It's absolutely fantastic. Very, very good performance, like way above average projection and longevity. It's really, really good. And I know that after a while, once you spray it, like most Middle Eastern stuff, as it sits on the shelf, it will get better with time. But man, I don't know, people talk about with bad variations and whatnot. Mine is still really, really good. I think I actually just picked this up last year or the year before. Solid, really great quality, blends really well, and it just smells really, really good overall. If you haven't picked this up yet, if you want something clean, even classy, easily wearable for any time of the day in the warmer weather, spring or summertime, I highly recommend this stuff. It's very good price, especially if you find it for a good one online, and it's a really, really solid scent profile. And at nighttime, more one that I think has a little bit of a serious characteristic to it. It's another clone fragrance. And a lot of people think, that it's actually with the clone this, even though it does does smell similar to this and they think it's not a really good cologne, but I think even just a scent profile or like a fragrance by itself, it does smell really good. By Lattafa, this one is Sucrate, or Sucrate, depending on how you pronounce it. Now that I have Acqua di Gio Parfum, and it's actually an older batch from the original one that came out, that, you know, people said that this also smell like Perfumo, and this is meant to be a clone of Perfumo. I found this has similarities to Acqua di Gio Parfum as well. Like very close similarities. Actually a little more to that, even though this came out before Acqua di Gio Parfum and was meant to clone Perfumo, but it does have the still characteristics altogether. It smells between the two, you know, all that stuff. So it has a lot of woodiness in here, a little bit of that aromatic kind of smoky incense tinge to it, but it's more woody, I think, than Acqua di Gio Parfum. Not as mineralic, not especially as fresh or as light and ozonic, as that has some characteristics in it. And it's back here somewhere, that's why I keep pointing back here. But it does have more woodiness to it, a little more aromatics, a slight spiciness, and it does still have a very nice, classy, grown, kind of matured facet to it. It does have a little bit also of a throwback kind of style as it goes through into that mid and dry down. Can remind me of a few other things besides Acqua di Gio Profumo or, you know, even the Parfum. But yeah, really love this stuff. Not the absolute best performance. It doesn't last all that long on me. It doesn't project all that much, but for what it is and for the price, it is actually really good and a great blend overall, especially as you let it sit back and mature over time. It gets way better. But yeah, really love this stuff. It's still worth it in my opinion, even though if you can get the Belkin Parfum Joe Black, that is a way better clone as far as the profile itself to Perfume, but still this one is not bad at all. And actually, I got my days thrown off a little bit. That previous day was actually on Wednesday. That's what I wore Wednesday, and the Lattafa Sucrate I wore to church that night for the midweek service. So we're going to the next day on Thursday. It was a rainy week all the week, so I was picking things that kind of match the rainy, kind of, you know, cloudy aspect of the week going on. And this one is actually one of my absolute favorites from this house and one of my favorite profiles overall. And it's weird because I thought that maybe because of how it comes across that not a lot of people may like it, but almost every person that, especially the guys that come in and view my collection, as soon as they smell this one, they immediately take pictures of it and say they're gonna go buy it. And my best friend Tommy loved it. I had a niece, her, you know, boyfriend recently came in here and he loved it, took pictures of it. And I didn't expect it because I think it is a little bit polarizing because of the name and the actual smell and the overall thing, but apparently people really like it, so I'm not the only one. It is by John Varvatos and it is Artisan Blue. And don't let the name fool you or the look. Even though it says blue, it's a blue bottle, this is not a blue fragrance. In fact, it is the opposite. It is a very green fragrance. And I always reference a lot of other green fragrances I've smelled after this, comparing it to this. Because to me, as far as what I have in my collection, this is the most aromatic, herbal, like kitchen herbs, like dried herbs kind of fragrance that I have. Very herbaceous, almost like a clean soap bar that has like a little bit of classy feel to it, like almost like an old school kind of soap that has that pine, balsam, woody, aromatic green kind of scent profile to it, which doesn't have, like I said, balsam and pines. It does have all that in it as well. A lot of lavender, but it still is very fresh. Has that John Varvatos sea salty, mineralic, fresh, like marine at the ocean, at the beach kind of thing to it. I do think you could wear this at the beach a little bit, but I do think it'd be more of like a nighttime kind of thing because there's a lot of other ones that probably fit better for the daytime, but for spring and summertime, day or night, this stuff is fantastic. I love how it smells, but not everybody might get along with the piney, aromatic, herby soapiness that this has in it. I actually think it's fantastic. I think it's very underrated. I picked this up for a really good price too for this size bottle at Fragrance Net, so definitely other people out there aren't getting onto the train that this one is riding on. But yeah, I love this stuff though. It's fantastic. If that does sound appealing to you, a piney, balsam, very aromatic, green, herby, but mineralic, oceany kind of fragrance as well, you need to get onto this. It's classy, easy to wear, might not be great for the younger crowd, even though some young guys apparently do like it. I do think that most of you guys out there who appreciate more sophisticated, easy to wear fragrances for the gentleman's kind of style, you would really like this one. And at nighttime, even though it was warm outside and very humid and it's not easy to wear anything sweet or anything really meant for the colder weather, I picked this up recently, was so impressed with it. I had the spray just a little bit on and I loved it the whole time. It is by Camera Perfumes, or Camera depending on how you say it, and it is Vamos Voyage Elixir. So you know I have the other one, I think is Vamos Victory or whatever like that, and it's been the clone of Invictus Victory. This one is a clone of Dior Sauvage Elixir, and it is a fantastic clone, like probably one of the absolute best I've smelled. I do have the top of the side. This beats aside in my opinion, both in performance, even though some people say they do get good performance out of a side, and the scent profile. It is not as sweet as a solid. You know, a solid does have vanilla, has coffee, other things like that, and it has like a caramelized kind of thing to it. It does not have the sweetness like a solid. It is way less sweet, way heavy on the spices, way heavy on the licorice and the lavender aspect in here. It actually has a little bit of a deeper profile to it as far as what I can smell. I think this is way closer to Sauvage Elixir than that one, with maybe a little bit of a twist to it. Like I said, upping the spices does a little bit more. It smells absolutely fantastic, and performance on this is really, really, really good. So do not go spraying a whole lot on if you do happen to pick this up and thinking, you know, oh, it's gonna be light and wheezy enough to wear in summer. Do not wear it in summer, especially a full wearing. Wait till the wet, like dead of fall and winter, the cold of cold to do that. I did very light sprays on my neck and on my arms, and I could smell it way all through the night, like easily. So if I went to full sprays and full wearing, it would have been like nuclear with how the humidity is here. But man, this stuff is fantastic. Camera really never disappoints with their quality. I think that they're really slept on. They're a secret hitter, like a hidden hitter. They definitely are way up there, like as far as I can tell, the quality of things like Latafa and companies even like that, even beyond Maison Alhambra, because their quality, their accuracy, all of that is really, really, really solid. I just wish more people, especially the bigger, you know, influencers, things like Ash and Ross and all the people got onto this and started ordering camera and reviewing them, because I think a lot of people will be getting way more on that camera train, you know, riding that one. But yeah, love this stuff, fantastic. I'm still trying to collect all the ones from the Vomus line. There's a few others that I'm missing, so if you do happen to see some out and about, you're like, hey, you need to look for this Vomus one here, let me know in the comments. But I'm slowly trying to get through these because, man, I'm discovering that these are hidden gems. Love these. Pick these up if you get the chance, so let me know what you think about them. And then that next day on Friday, the last day of the work week, wore one that doesn't get talked about a lot anymore. I think it's actually discontinued, but some bottles started popping up everywhere every once in a while at rack stores, especially Ross and TJ Maxx, and I think sometimes Burlington as well. But I love this. I think it's a more designer friendly and designer kind of style out of anything that this company has, especially in this line. This definitely does not fit the flanker name that this is in, but I still really enjoy it. It is by Mont Blanc, and it is Starwalker Extreme. This is a very, very fruity fragrance in the opening. You literally get things like pineapple, apple, I think there's orange. I think there's also things this fruit notes in it as well. It smells like a fruit cocktail, but it's very sweet, a little powdery, a tad bit creamy. There's a lot of tonka bean in here, a lot of freshness. There's also water notes in here, giving it a little bit of like a oceanic, aquatic thing right in the middle. A good bit of amber, like sweetness in here. I think there's a base of like vanilla and things like that. So as it dries down, it gets more sweet, a little more musky, clean. Like I said, soft woodiness maybe, but a lot of tonka bean. To me, this smells the opening just like Jimmy Choo Man, like it was exactly like it. And as it dries down, it gets a little close to things like Chanel's Allure Sport and Allure Sport Eau Extreme, especially because of the, you know, more sweetness in the tonka bean and things like that in there. Definitely has a similarity between the two, like a mixture of Jimmy Choo and Allure Sport Eau Extreme. But yeah, really love this stuff. Does not smell like anything like the original Starwalker, by the way. It smells way newer, way more in trend of what the designer realm would try to give you, the sweeter, fresher kind of stuff. And that one, you know, it smells more early 2000s. This does smell a little more later, like 2010s, 2020s, things like that. But yeah, love this stuff though. It's really good. Just not really one that might be widely available unless you're really looking at rack stores all the time, because like I said, it has been rumored to be discontinued for a while, but you can still find it here and there popping up every once in a while. If you do want a very easy wearable, very good compliment worthy wearing fragrance for most of the year round, even aside from the summertime, one for day or night, casual out and about, or even some classy stuff, because it does have a little bit of a cleaner thing to it, or you can get away with sweet stuff if you want to wear it for more formal settings. I'd go along with this one here. Really good, really solid, and very, very cheap with a good quality to it. And then at nighttime, I had to go to a church service and do some other things. And so I decided to wear one that I think fits perfect for the summer nighttime. It has a little bit of that summery sunscreen kind of feel to it, a good bit of sweetness, but it has that freshness, that kind of tuberose and leather, and like I said, sunscreen kind of like solar aspect to it. I think it fits perfect for the summertime, even though you could easily wear this for any time of the year as long as it's cold and you love sweet stuff. It is one of my favorite ones that is also underrated from this house, which is Paco Rabanne, also known now as Rabanne, and it is 1 million Parfum. I actually love this. I know the perfumer that did this, they said the inspiration was like they dropped some sunscreen into their like handmade leather bag, and the smell from it, that creamy, sweet sunscreen, coconut in a way, but tuberose kind of things, and mixed with the leather bag kind of smell, had like an effect that inspired them. And I guess when they came with the brief of, hey, we want to go with this fragrance, we want you to do it, they kind of used that inspiration to make this here. It does have, you know, a good bit of that. I think blood orange is still in here, which I think is the usual note that is used in the 1 million fragrances, but it still is a little fruity, sweet, citric on the top, has a good bit of vanilla, sweet amberiness right in the middle, and the base, a good bit of that leather, but it's not really too noticeable. It's like a very subtle thing in the background. Mostly what you're gonna get is the tuberose that's in here that gives you that sunscreen, solar flare, solar notes kind of deal with it, that gives you like that summery, tropical kind of vibe, but a lot of sweetness to it. It is a little bit fresh, but it does still have that 1 million like heavy sweet thing to it, but it's still light enough for you. Like I said, I think it fits good for summer and spring nighttime, especially even if it's the high heat of summer and you're in air conditioned settings. You could definitely get away with this. Not only one that everyone likes, I know Ash from Jensen's doesn't like this one, even though I absolutely love it. Ross from TOTG Reviews loves this one. There's a lot of other people out there who bank on this as being one of their top 5 favorite, you know, 1 million flankers, you know, probably aside from like the Elixir and, you know, the discontinued Privé one and things like that, but I haven't experienced the Privé one. I do want to still get the Elixir one. I love Lucky, and I have this one. But yeah, this one, absolutely love it. If you want a good sweet summer, especially date night or fun out and about one for these summer night times, it's a great one to go with. Not super cheap, but from discounters, you can get it for a fairly good price. Oh, and the performance on this, really, really good. It's a 1 million, so it's gonna be loud, it's gonna be long lasting, it's gonna get you noticed, and it's gonna wear with you as long as you need it to. Really, really good. The next day on Saturday, I had to go out of town to help a friend of mine. They had some other kind of church things going on, and some things they're trying to get together. And you know, I had to go out there, do some community stuff as well. And so I decided to wear one that I think were great. It was supposed to rain that day, but it actually didn't rain a whole lot. It's actually very sunny and very, very hot, which is why I have like some sunburn on. Didn't plan on being out in the sun that long, but hey, it happened what it happened. But this one still works really great for most of the year round. It's one I opened up in my recent Under the Radar Cheapies haul video, which I'll put a link to up here. But it's one that I really do like. I'm trying to collect this whole line of fragrances from this house because they're all really good quality, and so far haven't been disappointed. But it's by the company of Bentley, and this was from the Momentum line, and it is Momentum Unlimited. As you can see, it has a chrome finish, has a bluish kind of color to it, which makes you think it's gonna make a blue style fragrance, and it kinda is, but not really. How I would actually describe this is smelling very similar, but speaking of Star Walker, it smells very similar to the original Star Walker by Mont Blanc, and a little bit of the, you know, Versace Manor Fraiche, which also smells similar to Star Walker. The mixture of those with a lot more woodiness, and it doesn't have as much of the greenness as Star Walker does. It doesn't have as much of the fresh, kind of watery fruitiness as, you know, Manor Fraiche does, but it kind of is somewhere in between, more woodiness, a little bit of a metallic, musky, ozonic thing to it, but it's still very clean, very wearable, very professional, easy to wear, really for any age group, young or old, and no matter what you're doing in office wear, it's great for that. Casual out and about, great for that. Day or nighttime in the summer, spring, really, really good for either of those. But if you like a lot of woody focused fragrances, you're going to really like this one here. Not bad at all, really do enjoy it, and actually had pretty good performance, even though I was really sweating it all off and I was out in the heat and I was moving around. It wore with me a good little bit, especially on my clothes. I could smell it toward the end of the activity that I was doing, but I would say like if you weren't doing a whole lot outside and you were indoors, it lasted your work day, like probably right at the average mark, and it smells great, pretty good projection, doesn't do too loud, but if you're doing it for more, you know, sophisticated, more reserved settings, this is a great one to go with, and not all that expensive either. I picked this up for like 20-something dollars at FragranceNet, which most of the Momentum stuff tends to be a little more than that, so not a bad price at all. Really do enjoy it. Again, so you want Star Walker and Versace Manor Fraiche as a mixture with more woodiness in it and less greens and less fruitiness, this is a great one to go with. And then the next day, which is today on Sunday, so going from Sunday to Sunday, wore one that I absolutely love. Be careful while showing it on camera, because for some reason when I did the review for just this fragrance, I got flagged by YouTube and had to do all kind of other stuff to get it back online and, you know, do some other kind of disputes and things like that. But I do really love this. I picked this up because of Omar at the School of Scents channel. He's usually a very big critic when talking about like cheaper end fragrances and even some clones as well. Even though he's starting to get into it, he really loves the Middle Eastern, you know, community and clone fragrances and the brands and things like that. But this one, he actually really, really loved, gives it like a 10 out of 10. And I was like, you know what? I haven't been disappointed so far by his suggestions, so I'm gonna try it out. And sure enough, I have really, really enjoyed this one. And actually everyone around me me has enjoyed it as well. It is by Lattafa and it is Emeer, so E-M-E-E-R. This is a clone of Clive Christian's Town and Country. This is one that, if I had to describe it, I would say has an opening that's very similar to things like Bulgari's Tiger, or if we're looking at clones, it'd be like Toronto Blue and things like that, mixed with a little bit of Baccarat Rouge 540, and as it dries down, you still get a little bit of mixture of those. Very, 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 very bright, almost juicy citric, slight fruity opening, and immediately get hit with a lot of saffron spiciness, a lot of aromatics as well, slightly green, has a little bit of a powdery nature to it, which is where that Baccarat Rouge kind of aspect comes into it. And it also has a lot of oak moss in it as well, like a little bit of a mossy, earthy aspect as it dries down, but not too earthy. It just mainly stays a little aromatic, green, and fresh. So you have, again, that saffron oak moss, BR540, so it has a little bit of that in there, and as it goes through, you know, you get a little woodiness. It still stays a little bit of ambery warmth as well, but you still get spicy, powdery, even more as it dries down. Like I said, slight woods. It's just amazing. It smells very classy, smells very sophisticated, but now be careful when wearing this in the summertime, especially the high heat. Even though it does have a good bit of citrus and freshness all the way through it, it is a very loud fragrance. Because of the spices and that powderiness, it will be amplified in the heat, and it might get very intolerable after a while. But if you keep it light with the sprays, especially if you're indoors and around a lot of people, if you're going to know you're going to be around a lot of people and it's going to be getting too hot, it's going to spread off too much, be very conservative with your sprays, be respectful for those around you. But and even in the core weather, it still works. You can just do the regular sprays or a little extra, and it will definitely cut through the cold very, very well. It's just a very all-around great fragrance. It smells classy, high quality, easy to wear, high compliment factor, all of that. It just smells really good overall, and it's perfectly unisex as well. So either guys or girls can wear this, but if you're a guy who wants that kind of BR540 profile, again with more citrus, Bulgari Tiger added in, along with other things added in with it as well, it's a great one to go with. A clone that even if I get rid of most of all the things in my collection, if that ever happens one day, I will still keep this as part of the clones that I have left behind. Also, it's not as hyped as it once was. I know at one point it was like hard to get back in stock and, you know, order it for a good price or for a good availability, but now I don't think it's as hyped as it used to be, so you can find it more available online for a really good price. So yeah, you definitely need to go and check this out. And there you go, guys, all the things I've worn off of the week. If anything in here has stood out to you or piqued your interest, if you have any questions about anything, let me know down in the comments below. Or what do you think about these? Have you smelled these? Do you own these? Or are you wanting to get them? Or have you had them? Maybe give them away. If you like it or if you don't like it, let me know all those things down in the comments below. Or if you're like, hey, if you like this fragrance, I think you'll like this one as well, and you have a suggestion to give, please let me know down in the comments below as well. And if you're watching this video and you like what you've seen here and you enjoyed it, if it's giving you any kind of information or entertainment value, please let me know that you've enjoyed this video by giving the video a like and a thumbs up. Let me know to keep making these week rotation videos and to try out new things as we go, which, speaking of, this coming up week is going to be a very interesting week because I have actually put out a community post asking you guys to vote on whether I should or shouldn't wear a rotation of my wife's fragrances. And as of now, the yes has been just a little bit more, even though a lot of people are commenting, wondering if there's anything wrong with me. Like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing it? No, wear men's fragrances. But the reason I'm doing it is because, one, there's a lot of stuff that she wears that I really enjoy, and I'm wondering what it'd be like on me. And two, I'm up for the fragrance experience overall, whether it be for, you know, men or women, female, male, whatever, if it's unisex or not. I'm just here to smell things that smell good and wear things and try them out on me and see what I think about them. Again, I'm not here for just the men's fragrances. I'm also a enjoyer of all kind of fragrances. And because of a few comments that were left on that post, and also because of how close the yes and the no's were between the percentages, I'm not going to really do a whole week of just hers. I'm going to do a few of my stuff injected here and there, especially things that I'm really wanting to wear, and also just to fill in the gaps when I go do certain things. So it's not going to be all her stuff, but it is going to be a lot of it, which I'm actually looking forward to because, it's like I said, a lot of stuff that smells really good on her, and I'm really wondering how it smells on me as well. So be looking forward to that when I do next week's rotation coverage. And also, guys, if you're watching this video and you're not subscribed to this channel, but you like what you've seen here or what you've seen elsewhere on the channel, I encourage you to please consider supporting this channel by subscribing and hitting the notification bell so you can see all the things I'm working on in the background to bring out to you guys. I'd love for you to be right along with me on this cheap and inexpensive fragrance journey. And hey, maybe I can even help you discover something new along the way. And as always, guys, that's all I have for today's video. Again, thank you for being here and for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I hope that you've enjoyed it. I will see all of you again in the next video. Be blessed.